Alright, moving right along, we have the next battle. I'm a little bit unsure of this, but I'm just kind of trying concepts. We have a fairly aggressive looking Jedi Knight Revving comp. We still have Jolee, of course, as a potential safety net. The modding is all pretty straightforward. For Jolee, we have a crit avoidance arrow, tenacity cross, and then speed and health. Overall, very, very high speed focus. Revan, we are on pure speed, broken offset. We just have, as much speed as we can comfortably give him. Bastila is quite high speed, but we do have some extra potency focus just to make sure that she is going to land that control on those droids as successfully as possible. It tends to be very important for her to land those. We do, of course, have the extra 70% potency, so we might be into overkill potency ranges here, but all told, you're maybe just trading off on like a cross stat. I don't think it's that big of a mistake. And again, we don't know exactly what the TB stats are, and I think consistency is valued above all else here. For General Skywalker, I end up, my crit chance sets are lacking. This could very easily be an offense primary instead. I think either would be fine. Again, just a bit weak for the slots. This is what it's competing against, so I just opted for the faster protection primary instead. Either would work fine. But we do have quite solid speed focus here. I'm kind of valuing the speed over the offense in some degrees because I consider General Skywalker to be a control character as much as damage. Of course, he is quite a high damage character as well. But we really need, with the unique bringing that cooldown increase, we really want to see him coming around more often to get some heat off of the team by getting those good cooldown increases. Because we used Old Ben in with Jedi Knight Luke, I kind of view General Skywalker as sort of a soft Old Ben replacement, mind tricks and the cooldown increase in AoE, kind of serving the same roles here. You can think about it that way. Grimar Suda, very similar deal, slight more emphasis on critical chance here, of course, him being a special offense character with very low base, in dire need of it. You can maybe try to get this to 60. I don't think that, it's necessarily do or die that he crits every single time. At the same time, though, we do want some solid extra speed. There is a little bit back and forth on this. Like, this could very easily just be replaced by not a great mod, but something like this. But, of course, just looking for that extra critical chance if we can get it. And any extra speed that we do give him does especially help because of doing the droid battalion dance at the start. So just kind of depends on what mods that you're working with. We could make a trade-off like this. And I would say that that's, not the worst that you could do. Or like maybe even this. But we are kind of gaining speed, but hurting our overall output otherwise. It's tough to say. You could go either way. We'll just give this loadout a shot for today. And yeah, that's about all I'm looking at here. So first things first, right off the bat, I am looking at B2 as kind of the main concern, just him activating and getting a bunch of extra turns. You usually kill B2 first. I don't think that's really that atypical. So we'll just do all of the good droid battalion dancing that we can. It's actually a little bit different now with the TM changes. Normally I would splash into battle meditation, but I think battle meditation may not guarantee that we go first. So as weird as it is, I actually might just pop this first, because then we'll splash. Okay. We did end up forcing the Magna Guard taunt, unfortunately. Not the end of the world, but okay. This ideally is a situation where we're probably going to want a Bastila Dispel. We do have Droideka coming up. It's a bit uncomfortable. We just need to get him shut down, of course. So we're probably going to get Savior by this Droideka. Our biggest concern is just making sure that we are comfortable and stable after that fact. All right, we did get Savior, so Jolie is at some risk here. It's certainly not ideal. Hopefully anyone else aside from Jolie we're pretty fine with. Yeah. No issue. So let's see. Basila's next dispel is going to be a little bit off, but of course Jordika's on basic now, so it's not that bad. Let's do a splash. Whoa. Okay. That was a very, very spicy counterattack there, sir. Some good RNG. Alright, the BX has not done this move yet, so we're not actually worried about this execution move coming in. Still, you know, kind of a spicy turn. I'd probably just try to reduce his turn meter if we can get it. We do not. It's not the end of the world. Let's see. And say let's just continue to pass this off. We do have SA now, so we don't have to worry about a Magna Guard counterattack. Sure, let's just give this to Jolie. Can use this to push off Jordika's cooldowns. He's gonna continue to not be a threat anymore. And of course he will have basic, but we'll just pop this AoE, or pop Foresight. We get the AoE Foresight. Jordika cannot do anything to us. So one of the biggest struggles that I've found with this team is it's extremely hard to time exiting the wave when you have General Skywalker, you know, just being extremely deadly here. I don't think this first Grandmaster Yoda turn would do it anyway, so we'll just pop this basic. If we could try to time this so that Grandmaster Yoda kills right now, I would say that's about as close to ideal as we can get. We can't blow this. We do ideally want Grandmaster Yoda to be as close to 100% as possible, which makes this a little bit weird to time. I'm trying to think here. We have gas at fairly high turn meter, which is positive. Maybe some type of... It doesn't feel great here, but the answer might actually just have to be basic, and then we try to do some pushing and pulling with Grandmaster Yoda moves. Try to get some extra value. Let's see. I don't know that Basila has her buffs back up yet. The fact that she still has buffs on, I generally remember as an indicator that she should not. But let's see. Grandmaster Yoda should go again, so even if we pop this, I don't think a Basila turn is going to successfully end the wave. And we do have Bravery, we could just try that. Because any other button that we hit here aside from this is just going to put Yoda's turn meter back to 0, and we want him at high turn meter to just generally get on top of Droid Battalion immediately. We do not get what we were looking for. Yeah, not a whole lot of options here. This isn't exactly the best way to enter the next wave, unfortunately. I think a basic sooner might have given us more options. Again, that's the issue with General Skywalker on this team, though, is puts us in a fairly rough spot. His general bloodlust is a bit too powerful for my liking. Slight annoyance at the start here is if we pop this AoE. I mean, we generally want to or need to, but if we do, if we don't land the days, we're risking a Magna Guard counterattack. That being said, though, I don't know that we really have much of a position to choose just because our turn meter is so low. So it's really just, if we kick here, we take some extra droid battalion off. If we kick here, we get an extra cooldown reduction on the swarm ability. There is the counterattack as advertised. We do have JKR coming in fairly nice and early though, so we do get kind of an opt-out. Alright, so this is a little bit later than I'd like to do the droid battalion dance, but as long as we're, you know, doing it in time, that's all that really matters to me. So let's see. It's a little bit unfortunate. I actually would prefer to have Bastila get this taunt off first, because if we splash here, we're just going to kind of break the chain anyway. Let's see. I do think we kind of just need to splash, though. A little bit uncomfortable. I guess we should probably just give gas a bit of bulk. Might be safe to say. There is Bastila coming in with the control, of course. That's just all she's really here to do. Alright, some nice counterattacking, gave us some extra turn meter. This is also potentially going to get us a kill on the gunner before he manages to go. So we'll pop the battle meditation, get us back to 100%. We don't have to aim at him. Of course, we have the splash to kill him indirectly, so we can just bounce here. We can go for the turn meter reduction. I actually don't know if it's that necessary. He's just going to be using basic. I guess, why not? It does land. Jolly's about the highest here. We're kind of more worried about cooldowns than anything else now, so we probably do just need to swap. We do have the buff immunity, so the counterattack isn't going to lead to a taunt regardless of how that RNG landed. It's also with how quickly this wave has boiled down, we probably want to try to hang on to this if we can. Okay. I think the Magna Guard should have probably this, or possibly this, coming up shortly. I think it's going to be very difficult to get out of this wave without General Skywalker being the finisher here. So let's try to play with that in mind. If we'll at least get this much turn meter worth transferred over to General Skywalker in advance. If we call General Skywalker and he drops him below 50%, we actually lose turn meter on Grandmaster Yoda here. But if we don't do that, I actually don't know that he will get any of that good stuff. I'm actually, this is a little bit weird blowing these cooldowns, but it actually comes back up fairly quickly if we droid battalion dance correctly. I'm just going to spread out this speed up now just to try to expedite things for the rest of the team. Let's see. And of course, General Skywalker as the wave finisher, kind of, you know, escapable. Their turn meter, again, not as clean as I would like to see, but there isn't a whole lot of droid battalion we're kind of interacting with here. It's a bit of an ugly wave composition for us. Let's see, we will splash. We do have SA, but we're going to be getting off with only 40%, so this does bring them up to about here. It's not too pleasant. Let's see. This might be ugly. We'll see what happens. probably looking for it. So JKR swap on the GMI would be better, but we're just going to be stuck on these two taunts. We do kind of need Bastila to just go on the sooner side of things, but getting markup would actually also technically get us a bit free as well. It's hard to say what the correct move is here yet. Okay, with any luck, General Skywalker will... Ooh, close. I guess this should just be a basic with him being double reduced. I think it's safe to trust this Bastila to bring him down. This would be a safer button, and it's a pretty low cooldown, so we might as well. This is a little bit of a spicy choice here. This wave will collapse fairly quickly, and I don't know that we can actually get direct focus up otherwise. But this wave also does demand some degree of respect, so I don't know if holding direct focus is actually the best play here. We can slow raw damage too, just to make sure things hopefully stay fairly safe. Usually in cases like this, I like using Grandmaster Yoda's nuke just to stop him from getting us a turn meter, effectively lowering our damage a little bit. Alright, the elite is down. Okay, so next turn we'll have JKR back up and available. So let's see, we have one bug left to deal with. We do have General Skywalker coming up extremely quickly, but we also have... Ooh. Is there any possibility that we could get this done with either of these two preserving their turn meter? This is tough. Let's see. If we could get this right, I actually would not mind wasting the buff move now. Of course, it's a 4-turn cooldown. Like, it would hurt not having in the last wave, but I would argue it hurts even more not having, you know, our star characters up and ready to go in the last wave as well. So I wonder if it actually almost ends up being bigger brain to buff gas here. I mean, he does represent more immediate damage. I don't know, this might be a weird move, but again, I value my preloads above all else. So, with that being said... this does actually create a weird position to be in, though. I don't know that Grandmaster Yoda can actually finish this, but if we swap to gas... We could swap to Jolie, but that means that Revan is low. So we have direct focus on Revan, so Grandmaster Yoda ending at 0 isn't technically 0, but I don't know this nuke, especially unbuffed, is actually going to be a kill. If we miss that, then this is actually going to be kind of a disastrous way to enter the last wave. Being that as it is, I think we have to try to just immediately... I think it has to be a gas finisher, so I think that means that we have to pop Battle Meditation just to have Yoda be as high as can be hoped here. A little bit ugly, wave exit. Again, gas just makes things a lot harder to clock. Like, gas just tends to be like, if you don't get it done before him, he will be the one to finish it, so. Okay. So we have a pretty happy Grandmaster Yoda preload. The Sniper Droid always kind of makes this entry awkward because we're taking a bunch of turns and the Sniper Droid will happily come to meet us, so it's a little bit awkward actually. Like if Grandmaster Yoda gets stunned here, we're kind of in an ugly position. A Luckily, the threat on this wave isn't that bad, but okay. I think we technically have to just accept this. That counterattack sucks though. Having this SA stuck on gas for so long is actually kind of thorough here. Okay, that's extremely rough. Not actually terrible yet. It's not great though. We're gonna have to probably SA with General Skywalker over onto Jolie to bring him back out of the fight. I think that also means that we can't mark anyone else, unfortunately, which kind of makes this awkward. I think we actually might have to save direct focus for a turn, I think. We don't want to use direct focus on SBD. That it pretty much has to go on Sniper Droid. But also, that does mean that we don't want to use it to overkill B2 either. Bit of a weird... this turn is extremely ugly. This could just be a dead Jolie. Got lucky. Got extremely lucky. Alright, let's try to bring you under control a bit. Here we go. We're back in the action a little bit. I mean, if we do aim this AoE, we are gonna give Jolie some breathing room. I think we have to give Jolie an assist call though. Like, kind of just inescapably. We are losing some damage by not, or some effective damage by not aiming a droid battalion here, but okay. So now at this point we can just direct focus. Jolie should become fairly healthy here. Decent recovery. Plenty content to just basic there. I think a gas call here, especially since he's below 50%. Grammar Suda isn't going to gain Terminator anyway. It's not as valuable for us. And yeah, this should be a pretty quick and easy win. The revive move is off cooldown. This should just be all set. So yeah, all told, I'm actually not that happy with this run or this team. We'll see how Padme goes. I don't know if the results on Padme will kind of justify themselves. I was thinking maybe swap gas over to Padme and GK onto this team might feel better. Of course, we're going to have a lot less damage to throw out. But as you saw, General Skywalker made entering some of the waves pretty uncomfortable. So we're killing Watt just on principle. Ooh, maybe a misplay. We might get forced to kill Madguard first now. Have to stay single-minded. We cannot... He's too dangerous to be left alive. There we go. Good stuff. And yeah, I can just pop out him. Alright. This should be it, and on to the next one.